Hey guys, this just came in the mail today. It's a catalytic converter security shield for my Honda Element. Let's open it up and see what it entails inside. Looks like we have the bottom. This looks like it would be in the front. Next up is the bottom, and this would be the rear because it has that square cut out right there. And this is the sticker to let you know who makes it. And then we have the bracket. This is the passenger side. It'll mount to the frame there. Looks like high quality aluminum. And then we have the driver's side here. I can see the O2 sensor cut out right there. Looks like it's a little bit scratched up, but that's on the inside. That shouldn't matter. And then it also says Element on it, which is kind of nice. Looks like good quality stuff. So I laid this out according to the instructions. Right now you're looking at the driver's side. You can tell because you can see the O2 sensor slot. There's the bolts that came with it. I actually had to pay a little extra for the security bolts. These bolts are tamper-proof Torx head bolts, and the company even supplies the bits, which is nice. Let's get started and get this CAT converter shield installed. Now my Honda Element's a factory converter, so everything should line up perfectly. First thing we need to do is remove that O2 sensor bracket. I'm using a 10mm socket to remove the bracket. So here's how it goes. It goes up here. There's a hole right here, but there's no threads in it. Over here, this is where the O2 sensor bracket was. So the O2 sensor bracket will go back in, and the bolt will go back in there, and it's threaded. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill a hole right here so I can put the bolt in there. And then I'll tighten it down. And then back over here, there's another bolt, but there's no hole. I'm gonna drill a hole here also so I can put a bolt, so I have all three bolts on there secure. I'm gonna use a 1/8 drill to make my pilot hole. Then I'll use a step drill bit to make the hole big enough that I can put that nut in there. All right, so let's go ahead and get this back up there. So this is gonna sit right back in there. And then this follows the O2 sensor. It's gonna go in this hole. Let's see if I can thread it in there. Close. I think it went. Alright, that'll hold it. So there's the hole I drilled, and that was just so I could kind of hold on to that nut. So I made this to hold the nut. I feel like I need to show you how I did it, so here it is. I put it in the vise. I took some vice grips and I just twisted it so I could tighten it up. And then once I did that, I was able to just remove the nut, and then that'll hold the nut pretty securely so you don't drop it in the frame. Okay, that's good for now, and now I'm going to drill a hole right here so I can put another bolt in there, and then we'll call that on there sturdy. So I have my hole drilled. Let me just get the bolt and see if that fits in, which it does. Fits in good. So now I got to do the same process. I'm going to use a 1/8 bit. I'm going to drill a hole, and then I'll use my stepper drill bit to make the hole big enough for that nut to go on, just like I did in the last step. Now I'm going to use some mechanics wire attached to that nut. I showed you how I did that earlier. So this hole right here is a factory hole. That hole was already there, I didn't drill it. So I'm using that, and the one above it that I drilled, I'm using my finger to hold that nut down. I'll go ahead and push that shield back up and install the bolt right here. Once I feel like it catches, I'll go ahead and snug it down with my nut driver. And then what I'm going to do is go to the other side and do the same process. I need to put my nut in, get my screw, and get that started. Once it catches, I'll go ahead and snug that down, and then I'll snug down the other bolt, and then I'll get started on the passenger side. All right, so on this side, looks like there's a 10 and two 12s, which this will line up with. So I just need to remove those bolts. And then the one right here is actually a threaded hole. So on this side, there's going to be no drilling and anything like that, which is good. So let's go ahead and remove the bolts. Perfect. Okay, now let's put this up and let's find our holes. One. There's another one here. And then there's one more here. It's the smaller one. So our next step is to put the bottom plates on. The one with the hole on it goes to the rear of the car. The one with no hole goes to the front. I actually went to Home Depot and I purchased 2 more bolts. This one's the hex. The reason for doing this is I'm going to put a hex and then I'm going to put the tamper-proof star. Just in case somebody has this tool, they would need one more tool and it would be more of a pain in the ass to just remove the cat converter. So our next step is to put the lower plate on. This hole right here goes right under here. So let's go ahead and do that now. Just want to get it up there and line up the bolts. We're going to go on the lower. We're going to use one of each bolt here, one of the square and then one of the tamper proof. I've got the tamper there. I'm going to go ahead and put in the square. Now let's go to the other side. Now the same thing on this other side. Put a bolt there. This is the hex, and this is the star tamper-proof. All right, so now it's time to put the front piece on. This one had no square cut out there. Same thing. Come up. Gonna put that in. Here's the other one. Okay, now we're on the other side. Need to put our bolts back in. And let's get those tightened up and we're done. So my final thoughts on the cat converter cover, I thought it was pretty awesome. I thought it installed fairly easy. I did do a couple of modifications that I thought needed to be done to make it more secure and solid. Now, if you liked my video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my page. If you end up buying one of these, let them know Danny's DIY Garage sent you there. Thanks for watching.